Thank you for listening and welcome to the Life Podcast, a proud member of the Eventide Entertainment Podcast Network. I'm your host, Don Smith. Kathy and Barry Leggett are in the studio to promote Dayton Music Scene on DATV. We introduce our new DJ, Antonio, and we get to premiere a new song from Mr. Wiggly's Exploration Launch. If you enjoy the show, like and follow the Life 1069 on Facebook and Don Smith Comedy on Twitter, or tune in live on Tuesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM, or you can stream the show live at wwsu1069.org.
The brutal presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence overwhelms me.
All right, it is Tuesday. It is 7 o'clock. It is time for the Life Radio Show. I'm your host, Don Smith. I was hoping that good heavy metal music could wake us up a little bit because it's been a drowsy feeling day.
What heavy metal music?
About the Potter's Field. You didn't hear the Potter's? I guess it wasn't up loud enough. Oh, you slept through it. Sleeping through Potter's Field. I can't even say the name.
There we go.
I'm your host, Don Smith. This is the Life Radio Show. Sitting in the studio with me are the hosts of the Dayton Music Scene on what DATV. Channel is it? DATV. DATV. Yeah, why couldn't I think of that? Barry and Kathy Leggett.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I pronounced that right.
Yes,
too.
You did.
Okay. I wanted to say legit. I don't know.
I've heard lots of them.
And also we have a shadow that's surprised he's going to be on a hot microphone. I don't think he was expecting that. Antonio is sitting in. Say hello, Antonio.
Woohoo!
Yeah, he's ready for radio. You can tell. It's good to be here. It's good to have
good to be here.
Good to have you guys back on.
It's great to be here. What's it been? It's been about a year, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a little while because last summer I had a run where I was getting a bunch of people in the show that weren't comedians, and then I slacked off and I stopped doing that. So it's good to have non-comics back in again. I'm not sure how to act.
Because we're not funny at all.
I was pretty funny, I thought.
You were pretty funny
last
time.
But I'll be straight.
You were making some good jokes before the show, too.
I think maybe today.
They're mostly at Antonio's expense, but that's okay.
Poor Antonio.
Yeah. This is the treatment that shadows get on my show. So, just so you know, I told you, I told you about the first guy that ever shadowed with me, and the person that was on the show that time that just could not stop dropping F-bombs. But of course, he later ended up being the GM of the station. So we have high hopes for you, Antonio.
GM in a year.
Right, there you go. That's no pressure at all. You're just going to be running the whole thing in a year, so you can do it. I have faith in you.
Thanks.
So what's been happening with the Dayton Music Scene, the show, and the Dayton Music Scene, the Dayton Music Scene?
There's a lot going on around here. There really are. I wish I had a count of an estimate of how many bands are in the Dayton area. There are so many bands, and it's so impossible to reach all of them. But we're doing our best to get out there and do things, and be out there in the field with the bands. One thing that's changed a lot, and I'll let Barry talk about that.
Told you you're going to have to carry us this time.
Is a new host. There's a new host on our Dayton Music Scene live show.
Really?
Yes, we do that once a month. It's the second Saturday of each month, and we've gone live since I talked to you last because it's a live show from 2 to 3.
Wow, that's what are the challenges of that?
You would think that it would be a lot more for us, a lot more challenges, but we ran it live before we went live. We played like it was live.
You just recorded it, but you did kind of like,
we played like it was live. So when it came time to go live, it really
it
didn't
was just
feel any
doing
different.
The same show.
Yeah, doing the same thing.
Understandable.
Yeah. So anyway, we have a new host. I was hosting that. Hostess. I was hosting that for about 2 years, about 2 years, and I originally didn't want to host it because we produced the show, and when you start getting into hosting and producing, you end up one of them is going to suffer, and it ended up being the producing part because I was hosting. So I really
my production value on this show is terrible.
Thanks.
That's all.
Thanks a lot.
That's all I can do to host, and I'm bad at that. So
You are
just
not.
imagine.
Not. So anyway, we decided that we were going to put a permanent host in for the live show on Saturdays once a month. And Barry will tell you who that is and what's going on with that.
Okay, she is an awesome lady. She's well known in the Dayton music scene. She runs Music Connection Dayton, and her name is Kimberly Weiss.
I believe I've heard the name before.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's also a singer in a band, Far From Eden, and she's brought so much knowledge to the show. She has the lingo. She has the personality.
She's not old.
She's not old.
Hey, you can be old and like good bands.
That's true. But, she connects better. I believe our population that listens to us is like the 25-year-old to 32-year-old. So when you stick a 58-year-old on there, you don't get a lot of the same lingo and stuff. You don't,
Right.
You're too far away from that generation. So she can really relate. Not that she's middle 30s probably, but she can really, she won't kick my butt for that because she looks great. Don't you, Kimberly? You look great. But anyway, she's really brought a different vibe to the show, which has been really good, really positive.
Awesome. Well, that's good to change that up every now and then.
Right. And then it frees me up to do the things that I want to do, which is producing.
Right.
So with Barry and I producing, and we added another producer to Dayton Music Scene. His name's Lowell Wagner, and he really is involved as we are in getting things going. But our goal now is to actually spread out in other ways. So one of them is that we're going to go to the Incarceration Music Festival, and that Incarceration Music Festival,
right?
And to do a documentary of how that all has started out, and it's actually in Mansfield
State Reformatory up there.
Oh, okay.
It's in the prison, and they're going to be given. Of course, there's no prisoners there, but they're going to be giving prison tours, and there's like 70 tattoo artists. And
30 plus bands.
30 plus
Wow.
bands.
Event.
It's a 3-day event. Camping is available, and it's going to be
like
crazy.
Woodstock in prison.
Yeah.
But this is like, these are national bands. Bush, Fuel, some of the other lady of something.
Black Label Society.
Okay.
Yeah,
Biggie.
so it's a pretty big deal. So we're going to do a documentary up there, and we've kind of wet our wings a little bit on doing that. We've gotten out a little bit and played around with that. So we're looking forward to doing a documentary on that because it's kind of unique, a big event in an old prison.
How long has that event been going on?
Well, you're going to have to watch the show to find that out.
Okay. So this whole interview is just a teaser for your
It is,
documentary.
absolutely.
I gotcha.
You got it.
Well, this whole radio show is just a teaser for my podcast. So
That's right. So great minds think alike,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, I'd tell you what the podcast is, but you got to listen. But no, that sounds like a lot of fun.
It is going to
get
be,
out
I
there
believe.
with
Yeah.
that much going on and try to do a documentary.
Make
about
something
that'll
out
be-
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast.
Do a lot of filming, and then a lot of editing. So.
Yeah. I would say with that many bands, that much going on at that place, there will be hours upon hours upon hours of footage, and just the trick to that would be editing that down into something that's not 17 hours long.
Right. You got to get it down to a decent amount
hour,
where where people will want to listen to it. Otherwise, they're not going to care. You know,
well, folks don't have the attention span we used to.
No, but the fun part, no,
Especially
maybe
when you get
your
older.
age group doesn't have the attention span, but
I'm sorry, what?
excuse me. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. So, okay then.
Well, no, the generations. I think every generation loses some attention span.
Mm-hmm.
It goes with the technology.
with the technology and the change to all the different media. And now, if it's not now, you're better off with a 30-second YouTube video. And
Yes.
that'll get more across than.
Yeah, and we've talked about that. making our YouTube and Facebook shows shorter because no one's going to watch an hour show.
Yeah.
And that's something else that's news. We went to an hour.
Oh, we were a half an hour show. Now we're an hour show.
Oh, wow.
And we went from not being live to live. We've definitely expanded our crew because we've gotten bigger. And so it's going really well. It really is. We've got another trick up our sleeve that we've been kind of working on. You guys can give us some input and see what you think. Okay. Go ahead, Barry.
She's going to get you talking.
We're thinking about launching. It'll be kind of like an MTV format kind of thing where local bands will submit videos to us. And what we'll do is we'll take 5 videos per month, and we'll put them up on our page, and people will vote on those videos. Then once we have the voting all done, we'll do a show counting down those 5 videos, and it'll be on DATV also. So kind of a little, video countdown show.
Yeah, music video countdown. I think that'll be really cool. What do you think?
That'd be fun. Yeah.
I think bands will be really wanting to do that because, they're getting their music videos recognized out there.
Right.
It's just another piece of getting them out there, and that's what it's all about.
And there's no payola involved, so.
Yeah. That's always better.
Yeah.
And you don't have to. Do you guys, you produce that show, have you ever, sponsored a live concert? A band? Just out of curiosity.
Not sponsored one. We've worked at live concerts before, or shows around town. We did the Dayton Underground series last year, which Kimberly was part of.
We talked about that.
Mm-hmm. That was a year commitment for us on that.
How did that?
It went great. It was so great. Yeah. It really kept us on our toes too, because we were really still learning a lot. Of course, we'll always learn, but we were really still learning a lot, and that helped us tremendously because it was, I don't remember, every couple months, and then it got to every month.
Every month.
We were going and filming for the Dayton Underground series, and then the whole finale of the thing was at the end of the year, and so we went from January to December doing that. And that was awesome. And we missed it when it was done. It's like, where'd it go?
Yeah, what do we do now?
Yeah, we got to find something else to do. And so, but it went great. And Kimberly Weiss does a great job with that. She didn't do it this year. I hope she does consider doing it again in the future because I think the bands get really excited about it. They get involved, and it's really, really good. You get to see a lot of different genres and talent.
And there's a lot of talent out there.
There is a ton.
I only know a handful because I don't get out to see a lot of shows.
Right.
Just with comedy. I don't even get out to see a lot of comedy shows, and I'm part owner of a club.
Yeah.
But usually when I'm there, I'm working at the bar.
And we do the same thing. We're like, let's go see a concert, but we're not going to film because we want to see the concert.
Right.
Because we want to enjoy it.
Yeah, you can't focus on, what you want to focus on just to watch it. As filming it, you've got so many other things going through your head. You don't even hear the music. You hear a little, but you're just in a different place.
Yeah.
So.
Well, even this past weekend, or not the past weekend, but the weekend, Donnie Baker. I was really looking forward to seeing Donnie Baker. Never really set foot in the showroom. I was out at the bar running back and forth because we about ran out of everything.
You probably didn't hear one joke.
I did not.
See? That's sad.
I heard some because it was Donnie Baker and his band, the Pork Pistols.
Uh-huh.
So I heard one or two of the songs while they were warming up before the shows. And that's it.
Wow. That sounds familiar, though.
I think the funniest thing with me about that is my mom was going to one of the shows, and she wasn't familiar with Donnie Baker. So the whole time I'm listening to him warm up, and I'm thinking, yeah, this is not going to be my scene.
Better warn her.
Yeah. You don't have that red button there, huh?
No. That's the only time I went into the showroom is I had to go check on her, make sure she was surviving.
Oh my gosh!
Because she just looked a little frightened. She's like, "I'm okay."
Now, do you get a lot of bands in there, or
not very often?
Yeah.
Usually, New Year's Eve we had Todd Yon and the Time Flyers in there, and then Donnie Baker and the Pork Pistols. We really don't have a lot of bands in there, but every now and then Every now and then we get one.
Yeah. Well, you'll have to let us know when you get a band in there.
Yeah. I will.
Yeah, for sure.
And we've kind of talked about that from time to time, and trying to get some live music in there every now and then, but we're not sure at a comedy venue how it would go over. Because with Todd Yon and Donnie Baker, I mean, those are comedians that have bands. So that's still, it's a crossover.
Right.
Yeah, there's still the humor there.
Right.
But I'm not sure how just regular live music would
menus.
fit there.
Getting the menus in there, they're goofy as can be.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah, something like that, acts like that. Because they're comedy and music.
Yeah, what's his Todd the Fox? He's got a lot of humor in a lot of his songs as well. So.
Yes, see, so there's people around.
Yeah.
That's good.
One thing that I just now remembered that's new for us is we also air our show on the Miami Valley Cable Council. It's on Spectrum. It's channel 991, and it's the call signs are CATV, I do believe. But that's aired on Saturdays also with DATV. So we're the whole county.
Right,
8 counties. We're the whole region, our region. Going south and going north. So there is a lot of coverage that we get now, and that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's good to keep expanding that way.
Right. And we can continue to do that as far as we want to. And the thing that's really cool is that we can also, we got a really cool thing going on that we submitted for an award. And you can talk to him about that, honey. You know a lot about that, don't you?
No, I don't. Not really.
Yes, you do.
It's the Philo Awards.
The
Philo
Awards. It's through DATV.
Well, no, it's not. It's
not. It's bigger
festival.
than that. It's a film festival, and people from all over the region, and that's Michigan. You think Michigan,
Indiana,
and Ohio, and they submit into the Philo Awards, and if you get chosen,
it's for public access.
Yeah, it's for public access.
For public access shows, and
so we submitted one of our shows. Which was a wonderful quality show. It was probably the best show that we had all year, which really stinks for that year. It really stinks, and the reason it stinks is because for 2 years I have been hosting that show, okay? One time, this man has hosted the show.
And that's your best show.
And that's the best show. Not because of him. Don't you misunderstand me.
No, okay.
It was all because of him.
I wasn't going to...
He started the show out with...
Chuck baby, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, okay.
I had to make sure the mics were working.
Well, yeah, you gotta check them.
It's really an awesome show. It was Crosley Court. I don't know if you know Crosley Court. Do you know
Not familiar.
Antonio?
Not familiar with the name.
No. Do you get out and listen to bands much, Antonio?
Not very much.
Yeah. Well, that's something maybe you can do in the future, huh? That'd be really
You're a
cool.
DJ and you don't go out and listen to bands?
Don't give him a hard time. He's all right. Be nice.
Well, he's
he's
a
shadowing.
New DJ.
Yeah, he's shadowing.
He's a DJ shadow right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Lay off, honey.
Eventually he will step
Sorry.
into the light.
Sorry, Antonio.
But we got him to talk, didn't we?
A little bit.
Yes, Antonio?
A lot of smiling and nodding over there.
There is a lot
Which
going
doesn't
on.
pick up well on the radio.
No, it doesn't.
But it makes us feel better.
It makes us laugh, and then people think we're stupid. So why don't you talk a little bit?
What makes you want to be a DJ?
Well, I enjoy music. I haven't really gotten, as you know, the chance to see live music and stuff like that a lot. It's something I would like to do, but I just haven't had the chance yet. And I also enjoy working with sound and just, stuff in that field. I really enjoy.
Because you're also going to be helping out Patrick, our engineer, as well.
Yes.
So he's not just a DJ. He's going to be doing the engineering end of it and the more complicated stuff.
Right.
Because I walked into a big tech conversation between those two, and I was like, "I'm out of here!" I got scared.
It's too much
I had
information.
to run back out in the hallway.
No, Will Robinson. No. Well, that's That's
welcome aboard.
awesome.
Sorry to pick on you so much, but I have to.
So are you into the audio end of it? Is that what we're hearing?
Yeah, audio engineering is something that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
So I don't have, very many particular band preferences.
Mm-hmm.
I just enjoy hearing audio-rich music. If that makes
Absolutely.
sense.
That's what I do. I'm an audio guy, so I know where you're coming from there.
Yeah, and it makes a huge difference. You guys can make or break the show. It's that simple. It makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
So good for you. If you ever want to stop by the studio when we're filming, feel free to do that. We'll show you. We'll show you some stuff. That'd be great.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite sayings about audio engineering is, you're doing a good job when everybody ignores you.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of confusing in the sound field where you want everybody to recognize you.
Yes, absolutely. Right. Yeah, the less noise you hear from anybody, the better off.
Yep.
Yeah, well, and I do a lot of independent film, and that's one of the things that'll kill independent film quicker than anything is bad audio.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
When the audio's bad, you're going to point out the sound guy. When it's good, he'll get ignored because that's what it's supposed to sound like.
Exactly.
So you're either under major pressure or you're being ignored.
Exactly.
Right.
That's
right.
great.
As an HVAC technician and a maintenance man, I understand that. I love it when I'm ignored because that means things aren't broken.
Yes. Very true.
Yep. So ignore me, please. I'm speaking to my work phone now. All right, we're going to have to take a break, but I'm going to hit the comedy rundown real quick. Do you guys have any bands that are coming up this week and weekend that you want to go through as well? We'll do the comedy and music rundown.
Okay.
Actually,
Barry
we do.
hands it over to you.
Yeah.
And
I don't know why he's handing that to me. I told him before we got here that I'm not participating much. This is his time to shine. So shine, baby, shine.
It's your turn now. She's
Okay.
been shining so far.
Put your sunglasses on.
All right. Go right ahead.
Oh.
Yeah.
Coming up on in July, and I don't have the date. 14th is Rind. They're an awesome band. They were in the Dayton Underground series. In August, we have Bipolar Opposites.
Which are a rock. They're a rock genre as well.
Are they?
Yeah, Rhine is like a heavier rock, and then Bipolar Opposites is a rock, not quite as heavy. And these are all the second Saturday of every month of each month. And then see, why am I talking?
I let her just take over.
What's wrong with me?
Because you like to shine.
In,
you can't help it.
Yeah, in September. Shh, be quiet, I'm talking. In September, we have Far From Eden's going to be there, and that's our host. This is she's the vocalist for that band. So and that'll be in September, and that's all we have for now.
Yeah, I try to right now I'm trying to only book like 3 months at a time, because we have so many requests, and we're very thankful for that, for people that want to come on the show. But so much can change over 3 months. So, there could be a band that drops off and another band that gets really big. So we try to do it every 3 months. So that's our 3-month time frame. And then we'll be having one each month for the remainder of the year, 3 more months.
We want to keep a month open in case the Stones call us and want to come.
Well,
on.
yeah, you never know. You never know when that's going to. That's why I always keep a few open calendar dates in case,
You have to.
I don't book my show very far in advance in case somebody like Donnie Baker wants to come on.
That's right. That's
something,
right.
Which happens all the time. I actually did have Greg Hahn. I don't know if you're familiar with it. You listen to TUE and Bob and Tom show. Greg Hahn's on there a lot too. And he was headlining at Wiley's one weekend, and he called into the radio station, and our phones weren't working.
Oh.
We couldn't have a conversation. I could broadcast him. I could put him on the air, but we couldn't hear each other.
Wow.
So finally what I did, I said, what I'm going to do, Greg, is I'm going to put you on the air, and you yell for as long as you want about whatever you want. And tell me when you're finished, and I'll take you off the air. So Greg Hahn is yelling on my radio show for about 3.5 minutes.
Oh, my goodness. That's adorable.
Which was so much fun.
I bet.
I couldn't breathe. I was laughing so hard at some of the stuff he was doing.
That's awesome.
All right. Well, I'm going to hit the comedy rundown. We're going to play a little, who did I pull up? Choke Hazard. So here's this week's Comedy Rundown, brought to you by the legendary Wiley's Comedy Club at 101 Pine Street in Dayton's historic Oregon District. Call 224-JOKE or go to wileyscomedy.com for all the best in Dayton comedy. Thursday, July 5th, open mic at Mugshots at 2341 South Smithville Road in Kettering. Sign-ups for that show are at 7:30 if you want stage time, and that show starts at 8 p.m. There's also on Thursday an open mic at the Hookah Bazaar at 958 Patterson Road in Dayton. That show starts at 10 p.m., and sign-ups if you want stage time start at 9:30. And also on Thursday, Matt Bergman is going to be at the Dayton Funny Bone at 88 Plum Street at the Green. Friday and Saturday, July 6th and 7th, Arnez J. is at the Dayton Funny Bone. Also Friday and Saturday, July 6th and 7th, Charlie Hester and Ray Hensley are going to be at Wiley's Comedy Club at 101 Pine Street in Dayton's historic Oregon District. And Sunday, July 8th, Lofty Aspirations Improv Comedy Troupe is going to be doing a show at Wiley's Comedy Club at 8 p.m. That is it. As always, check out wileyscomedy.com and DaytonFunnyBone.com for details and tickets to upcoming shows. And don't forget to show some love on Monday nights to open mics at Hannah's at 121 North Ludlow Street in Dayton and Ollie's at 518 Miamisburg Centerville Road. Whew, now I can take a breath.
That was a long one.
A big one, yeah.
All right. Now that I've spit all that out, we're going to play a little choke hazard, and we'll be back here shortly.
Job and left my girl to just go and tour the world. Wanna taste every single thing, every bit of life that brings. It's a crime, you see, to be ordinary. It's a crime, you see, to be ordinary. Them to the grave, but I guess it's too late. Leave them all in the past. When I have 1,000 fans, maybe they will love me, 'cause I don't feel anything. I just wanna be there on the stage, staring God right in the face. The lights will dim and I will sing as the curtains open. It's a crime, you see, to be ordinary. It's a crime, you see, to be ordinary. Something
Ootsy the Iceman was a very chilled out kind of soul, with a concave nose and his leathery skin, and 2 eyes made out of holes. Ootsy the Iceman was right in the glacier's way. Because of sheer dumb luck and a big-ass rock, he remains intact today. It must have been real lonely, 5,000 years frozen in the ice. And not only was it cold as shit, but his arm was stuck dabbing to the right. So then some mountain climbers found him, only good thing mountain climbers ever did. And for 2 whole days they chiseled him out like some block of frozen squid. Ootsy the Iceman was taken to a high-tech lab, where he told scientists on a carbon date he was older than God's dad. Right next to his body was a beautiful copper-forged axe. I bet all his friends thought he smelted really good, but his friends weren't alive to axe. Now Ootsy lives in a freezer. Scientists quibble over his remains. The only thing they agree upon is that his life ended with extreme pain. Ow! Ootsy the Iceman had a full stomach, so they say. So no one needed to be Sherlock Holmes to see his death involve foul play. Whackety whack whack, whackety whack whack, Ootsy he got whacked. Whackety whack whack, whackety whack, took an arrow straight to the back. Jack!
Lane, I've been going to this high school for 7.5 years. I'm no dummy.
All right, we are back on the Life Radio Show. I'm your host, Don Smith. We played a little choke hazard, and I had to follow that up with some Mr. Wiggly's Exploration Launch. I just received that song the other day, and I just thought I'd go ahead and put it out on the air. So that was Ootsy the Iceman.
I love it. I love it.
So there
what do you
you
think,
go, Mike.
Antonio?
Mike, you have.
Unfortunately, I'm impressed.
There you have it. Mike Canistero and Mr. Wiggly's Exploration Launch has the Life Radio Show seal of approval once again on his new single, Ootsy the Iceman. Oh, that's so much fun.
That is so much fun.
Mike Canistero is a great guy. Really, really hilarious. He's got some of his comedy is its own style. I think he's just very unique.
Yeah, I need to meet him. I would like to meet him sometime because that's
I'll
just
get
some
you,
really
I'll get
good
you
humor.
Some information.
Yeah, that would be awesome. What a good guy.
Well, it's almost 20 minutes to the end of the show, so we have some news stories we should probably cover. Yeah. Otherwise, I would be. Did we cover news stories the last time you guys were here?
Yeah, we killed time with that. Yeah, we did.
We killed time. It's not killing time. It's fantastic.
Excuse me.
Program news. It's part of my shtick. It's what I do. Okay. Employees at a bank in Tinsukia, India, have a good reason to be cheesed off after at least one rat got into an ATM and ate $19,000 worth of rupees. A rodent robber was discovered June 11th when technicians arrived to fix a State Bank of India cash machine. Inside the ATM was one dead rat amid a bunch of Indian currency and 500 rupee and 2,000 rupee bills that had been chewed to shreds.
Oh, my God.
Police Superintendent Mugna Yota, that guy, told reporters on Friday that the rat had entered the ATM through small holes for the cables.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that's
I was thinking of rubies.
$19,000.
I was thinking that has to hurt when he goes to the bathroom.
Well, that's probably what killed him.
Yeah.
Why are you thinking that
rat.
anyway?
Well, rubies.
I got you. I got you.
Rupees. Yeah, I think that was paper money.
Yeah.
Just the name of it.
It is.
Yeah. But that's a that's different.
Like I
that's
said.
different. Yeah, we killed time
We
with that
killed
news
some
story.
time with that.
Not enough. We have to punch this up a little bit.
Okay.
Any dead rat stories? I just thought I'd throw that out there and see what you never know.
Interesting.
Okay.
Very interesting.
That's all we got. It's just
that was all the
interesting.
news?
Yeah. That's all that's all we have on that story. It's
Okay,
just to
good.
talk about. That's interesting. Let's move on. From a dead rat to a live worm. A Russian woman bugged by a strange lump on her face was even more shocked to discover the cause, a live worm. According to the New England Journal of Medicine, the 32-year-old woman first noticed strange nodules below her left eye that later moved above her eye and then down to her upper lip. She told doctors the nodules appeared after she visited a rural area outside Moscow where she had been bitten repeatedly by mosquitoes. The nodules caused occasional itching and burning, but she said she had no other symptoms. Doctors quickly identified the suspect, a long parasitic roundworm called Dirofilaria rheopens, typically spread by mosquitoes and hosted by dogs and other carnivores. They removed the squirming lump from the woman's face using local anesthetic and a pair of forceps.
Oh, my God. Visualize that.
That's a bad day right there.
Oh, can you imagine a worm coming out of your face? I mean, that is so horrible.
Well, we were speaking of death during the break, so I guess that would add to that. But this was a live one, so yeah.
Jeez.
Be an episode of The Doctors.
Yeah.
That's true. The doctors have
They're
that
always
gory
doing gross
stuff on there.
Yeah.
The real
What
gory.
was that show? House. That would have been
Yes.
one for him to try to figure out.
Yeah, that would have been out too. Oh,
House
Lordy.
live worm episode.
And what was the ice song?
Ötzi the Iceman. Yeah, he was. You know the story of Ötzi the Iceman.
I don't.
Oh, okay. Well, he was found in the Alps by some skiers.
Okay.
And it just because of where he fell into this glacier, he was very well preserved. One of the most well preserved specimens they found from that date back that far. And it was I think I can't remember 5,000 years, but the big
remember.
mystery was about how he died because it wasn't natural causes. He'd been shot in the back.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, that's what they believe. It's been a long time since I've studied Ötzi.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
Wow. Well, it sounds like Ötzi did something that maybe he shouldn't have done. Or
it's a good possibility.
Yeah.
Either that or somebody else was doing something.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
There was some foul play.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
That's I don't know. That's a long time ago.
Well, that's why the show ended. That's why the song ended with whackety whack. Somebody whacked Ötzi. They took him out. He upset the mob of 5,000 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which you didn't want to do. They were a rough crowd back then.
Yeah, try to wrap
It was
your
a
head
rough
around
crowd.
that, though. 5,000 years ago. We talk about this a lot, I mean, this Earth is like billions of years old. So we're just like a little speck.
Be careful. We're getting deep now.
Yeah. Oh,
I digress.
we get deep on this show. This is a show with depth now. See, you don't know this.
The
A year ago, we
quality
had
of
no
this
depth.
show
And now
is not what I thought. Not to be an insult, but I didn't
Exactly.
realize that you were so into this kind of stuff.
What kind of stuff is that? You lost me somewhere.
I lost me somewhere.
It's always a good time on the show. That's why the news stories bring out the best in us.
It really does.
See, I always feel I should open with news stories because that gets people more open on the show.
That's
As you
probably a
can
good
tell,
idea.
Antonio over here is just having a ball.
We can't keep his mouth. we can't keep him quiet,
He's
can
got
we?
so much input on these news stories.
He's got a nice big smile.
That's good. That's good. Yeah,
That
he's probably thinking, I don't want any part of this show.
He's probably thinking, I can't wait to get my own show and never have to do this again.
Yep.
And he
Note-
laughs.
Note to self: no news stories on my show. What was supposed to be a happy Father's Day meal turned out to be a stomach-churning experience for one New York City man. Curtis May's daughter and granddaughter took him out to the Bohemian Hall and Beer Garden for burgers and beer. Everything was fine, that is, until they got the receipt. At that point, he noticed something really disgusting. Along with a request to add cheddar cheese and mayo to his burger was this directive: please spit in it too.
Yeah.
Mays said, I ate my burger already. I felt like I was going to throw up. Mays said that he confronted the waitress and that she couldn't explain what had happened. She said she didn't do it. So I was like, who prints out the receipt? So she said, I take it up there and print it myself. So you did it. Why are you lying about it? And then she just walked off.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Have you ever worked in a restaurant?
I have.
Oh, these things happen.
I know they do, and it makes me
terrible.
sick.
Yeah.
There was a movie about that. Fast Food, I think, was the name of it.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Did
Yeah,
some pretty nasty stuff in that movie.
yeah. Waiting. There was one called Waiting where they did that at one point as well, which is a terrible movie, just really bad, or annoying. It was supposed to be a comedy. I didn't really
And it
find
wasn't
it very
funny.
No, it was Ryan Reynolds was in it, which that's yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, you do have to think about that because I know that stuff does happen, and it's really disgusting, and I don't understand why people need to do that to other people.
Yeah,
I don't get it. It's sick.
My theory in a restaurant is you never complain about something until after you've eaten,
Right.
and you never send something back.
Very smart.
See, my ex-wife didn't understand a lot of these things. Like, oh no, don't send that back.
Because you don't know what you're getting back with it.
Exactly, because usually people don't like when they have to redo something. Yeah, that makes for a bad day.
Yeah, that's not funny.
Yeah, my grandfather used to own a fast food restaurant, so when he would when we would go visit him, we would hear some of the horror stories and fired employees.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm pretty careful about ordering at fast food restaurants now.
Yeah. I worked all through junior high and high school. I think since I was 14 years old, I worked at a local restaurant. And I'm not going to give the name of it because it's still in existence. Had so much fun working there. Wouldn't eat there. I had one of the worst things on the menu was a pizza. And our cooks hated making them because it usually took about a half hour. And we had this guy that would come in like on a Friday night, 5 minutes before we close, and order a pizza. Well, he did that the one time, and the cook's already mad, having a bad night, and he pulls the pizza out of the oven, and it slides off the rack upside down on the floor.
Oh, no.
We hadn't mopped yet.
Oh, no.
So he took a spoon, and he scooped all the cheese back up on top, sprinkled some more cheese on it, threw it back in the oven for a couple minutes to melt the new cheese, and sent it on out.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, it was, the guy told the waitress it's the best pizza he'd ever had there. Which was the worst part, because it probably did have a lot more flavor than he was used to.
A lot more ingredients.
Yeah, we called those floor seasonings. Is what
Floor
it wasn't
seasonings.
me.
I
It
like
wasn't me.
that.
I worked in the dish room. I did not do that.
Well, you know about the 3-second rule, right? Everybody knows the 3-second rule.
Yeah, it took a couple minutes to scoop that cheese up. That was way more than 3 seconds.
I'm questioning my decision to order pizza every week now.
They have to make it in front of me, and it can never lose my
you
sight.
have to go to like what is a rapid fire where they make everything right there.
Yeah, that way you know, but you don't know what they've done to the ingredients before you get them.
There, yeah.
Right.
It's
Oh Lord, I guess the best thing to do is just stay home.
yeah, just learn to
Don't eat
cook
out.
and
Barricade yourself in, buy the ingredients.
That's right. We love to cook.
like I would say grow or raise the animals and the vegetables yourself. That's the only way you're safe anymore.
It's very true. Wow,
just a lot of work.
We love
We're
to cook,
lazy
though.
society.
I'm not. I'm not because I shine. I'm
That's
not.
true. That's true. You shine.
Yeah, we love to cook. We cook all the time. We love it.
I used to.
Did you?
I used to.
Did you find enjoyment?
Would you settle down over the.
Yeah.
Antonio's breaking the chair.
He's just making a bunch of noise over there.
Yeah. Well, he's waking up. He's getting excited.
He's an attention getter over there. Did you have something to say, Antonio?
Nope.
No.
Okay, let's we'll do one more news story and we'll see where that takes us. Rechurchers, and we're done. That's all I can get out. Rechurchers. I don't even know what that is.
Like, that's a new word.
Yep. Researchers in Hungary who found that normal and overweight dogs behave differently in tasks involving food say the dogs' responses were similar to what might be expected in normal and overweight humans. The study suggested dogs could be used as models for future research into the causes and physiological impacts and psychological, impacts of human obesity. The authors of the paper from Budapest ELTE University said researchers put 2 bowls, one of them holding a good meal, the other empty or containing less attractive food in front of a series of dogs. The study found that canines of normal weight continued obeying instructions to check the second bowl for food, but the obese ones refused after a few rounds. I don't know what exactly they're getting at with this study.
I'm not quite sure either.
It's not making a lot of sense to me. Who put this news story? Oh, I did. We expected this is a quote from the test leader, Orsolia Torda, which is a heck of a name. Mm-hmm. That's not the quote. That's the name. This is now that person's quote. We expected the overweight dog to do anything to get food, but in this test, we saw the opposite. The overweight dogs took a negative view of their food.
So what's the point? So the ones that are in better shape ate more food, and the ones that were obese didn't. Okay.
Probably because they were already full. They had a pizza on the way in with extra floor seasonings because dogs love that kind of stuff.
Oh, our dog loves it.
Oh, my goodness. I don't know. That's a stupid little paper there.
That was a bad news story.
Did you pick that out?
That makes me a bad host.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know. Well, usually I see something in a news story, and a lot of times by the time I actually read the news story, I forgot what the hell that was. See, I'm as surprised as anybody by these news stories. See, people think when I come up with something funny about them, I've been thinking about them the whole time. I haven't seen these since I put them on this paper probably 3 weeks ago.
Paper at you.
Yep, I have no idea what that even means. So
I don't either.
There clearly was something in there at one point that I said, that's a good news story to include.
That'll kill some time.
Yeah, that'll kill because it was long and I couldn't pronounce half of it. Even the normal words that I should be able to, as an English major, pronounce.
Rechurchers?
Like Rechurchers.
You're an English major?
Unique. I was at one point. I have a bachelor's degree in English. But Rechurchers
to rechurch that.
Well, it was a creative writing degree actually, and that's my creative point is I make up new words as I go.
Oh, that's good.
So the rechurcher is that's the greeter at a church where you haven't been to in a while and you've gone back in. So he's rechurching you. Get in. You've been rechurched.
For all of you that have been rechurched today.
Yeah, it's about time. We've been waiting to rechurch you for months, and you finally got back to us.
You need to really, really, really use this word a lot.
Rechurch.
You'll have everybody in the area.
That's the name of this episode, actually, is going to be Rechurch. There it is. I wrote it down. Rechurching.
Dayton Music Scene and Rechurch.
Yeah.
What's that mean?
Yeah, that's a good band name. Rechurched.
Rechurched.
Chronically church.
Yeah. Oh, that's even
good.
better. I'm changing the name of the episode. It's now Chronic Rechurching. We're good.
Oh, that was a good one, honey. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I got one today.
A high five on that.
Yep.
See, I shine.
Great. Yep, we've been waiting. Chronic Rechurchers.
You bet I had to wake you up to hear it,
though. Chuck, baby,
and
Chuck,
we thought
baby.
I told you there was something in that news story. There's always a reason I put it there. I knew that this
that
was
it was just so stupid that it would bring a lot of entertainment,
exactly.
At least to us. We don't know what your listeners are doing right now, but we think it's funny.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
That's right.
All right, that's enough of that. I can't handle any more news tonight. At least it's not bad news. It's not like the national news that we hear all the time. So
yeah,
that's I pride myself on nonsense news.
I like nonsense news too.
Exactly.
I really do because you know what? Look how much it makes you laugh.
Exactly.
It really does.
Even if it's just men's pronouncing. And we're done. Do you guys have anything else to say?
Let me rechurch that.
Yeah, rechurch. Let's do some rechurch. And don't men's pronounce. I told you I was tired when we started. Okay, well, let's... excuse you. You all right?
Yep.
Okay. Bless you. That should have been better. I haven't been rechurched in a while. I forgot my manners.
He's a little confused right at the moment.
Did you say confused?
Confused.
I think you mispronounced that.
Mispronounced that. Mispronounced.
Mispronounced.
Hang on, I'm recording this.
Oh, wow. My English degree has just been revoked.
I think it was revoked a long time ago, probably.
Most likely. All right.
Oh, Lord. You do bring a laugh. You did this the last time we were here.
Well,
we left here feeling really happy.
That's what I do. I'll let you guys go over one more time your upcoming schedule and who's coming on your show, and then we'll kick you out.
There you go.
Yep. Shine, Barry. Shine.
Shine, Barry,
Music
shine.
Scene, second Saturday of every month. We are live from 2 to 3 on DATV and CATV. Upcoming shows. July, we have Rind. August, we have Bipolar Opposites. And September, we have Far From Eden. Check our website out, www.daytonmusicscene.com. And we are on Facebook and YouTube also. So check us out.
Also on our Facebook page, you can go to the Facebook group page, and that's where musicians can post upcoming events, shows, whatever's happening with them. That's their part of that page. So
I also want to give a shout out to Music Connection Dayton. It's a great resource for musicians. They have classifieds. They have where you can post gigs coming up, anything to do with music. Check it out, musicconnectiondayton.com.
it's really active, very active.
Very active,
All right.
yeah.
Awesome.
That's all I got.
It's good having you guys in again.
It was nice to see you.
It was always fun.
It is fun. It is fun. So
I'm still waiting for the chronic rechurchers to be on your show. Your show.
Your show. We'll see you later.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
We'll take a little
Thanks
break.
for having us.
Thank you.
Antonio, you sticking around for more of this? Or?
Yep.
It was great
You
to
are a
meet
great
you,
man.
Antonio. It was great to meet you. It really was.
meet you
Good
too.
luck to you. You'll
All
do
right.
great. I know you will.
Thank you.
Not
Real-
because you're doing much today, but
Right.
just because I have that vibe.
Yeah, you'll do great things on your own show. All right. Well, thanks for coming in, guys. We're going to
Thanks
take
for
a
having
Thank
us.
you.
and we will be back here shortly.
Thanks for listening to the Life Radio Show podcast. Check us out on Eventide Entertainment Podcast Network or wherever you listen to podcasts. Remember, if you want to listen live, we're on Tuesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM with a repeat broadcast on Wednesdays from noon to 2, or you can always stream the show live at WWSU1069.org. If you have suggestions or comments, feel free to email the life1069@gmail.com.
Brutal presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence overwhelms me. I am a brutal presence. I will impose my will.
Unfortunately, I'm impressed.